greetings to the citizens of the world. What is the Congress up to? With their stupid bill that imposes more sanctions and removes power from President Trump to rescind the sanctions that President Obama imposed? Congress is doing two things. One is that Congress is serving their campaign contributors in the military security complex by being tougher with Russia, thus keeping the orchestrated threat alive so that Americans denied healthcare don't start looking at the massive military security budget as a place to find money for healthcare. The other is to put President Trump in a box. If Trump vetoes this encroachment on presidential power, Congress and the prostitute media will present the veto as absolute proof that Trump is a Russian agent and is protecting Russia with his veto. If Trump does not veto the bill, Trump will have thrown in his hand and accepted that he cannot reduce the dangerous tensions with Russia. However, the bill is a lose-lose for Trump. There is no one in Trump's government who is loyal to Trump or who is willing to back Trump's effort to stop provoking the Russians and to cease serving as Israel's military force in the Middle East. Not only the Democratic Party but also the Republican Party supports the left wing's view that Trump's election was illegitimate because he was elected by the votes of illegitimate people, the deplorables to use Hillary's term. Who are the deplorables? They are the remnants of the American working class. They are the people whose jobs were sent overseas to Asia by the global U.S. corporations in order to enrich their shareholders and executives via higher profits from lower labor costs. They are the people who in order to stay afloat had to rely on debt in place of the missing income and whose debt is now so high that they have no disposable income. A huge proportion of the American population is incapable of raising a measly $400 without having to sell personal possessions. In other words, they are refugees from a destroyed American middle class. Trump stood up for them against the rich who ruined them, and now the rich are going to try to ruin Trump. It will teach a lesson. Henceforth in the United States, no one will dare to stick up for the American people. America is not for Americans any more than the world is for the peoples of the world. America and the world are for the 1%. No one else. Russia, China, and Iran are in the way, and, thus, they are on Washington's hit list. It is disturbing to watch the Russians continue to believe, lesson after lesson to the contrary, that they can reach a deal with Washington. This unrealistic hope will destroy Russia. The Russian government will continue to grasp at straws and be put off guard. It is utterly amazing that the Russian government can believe after its extensive history of being left hanging in the wind by its agreements with Washington that any agreement with Washington is worth anything. Perhaps Russia is aware of the evil that they face in Washington. Perhaps the Russian emphasis on diplomacy is just a way of gaining time to get prepared for the war that Washington intends to bring to them. There is little doubt that the great and wonderful beacon of light that is democracy in Washington, also known as the government of the exceptional people and the indispensable country, is lost in hubris and arrogance and will destroy life on Earth.